Kenny Bianchi joining us from the Abington Heights boys basketball team here on the Mendola show at Arcaro Genell. And Coach, Happy New Year to you and your family.
You as well.
Well, let's talk about the season early on and a variety of teams you're playing, a little bit of traveling, some local stuff going on. So tell us what's been going on.
Well, we started the season as we do every year. We play Holy Cross, Wyoming Valley West, Holy Redeemer, but we wanted to branch out since we don't have a tournament to participate in. We wanted to play some bigger schools, some 6A schools, and we were fortunate enough to play Downingtown East. We played Williamsport in an exhibition game. Last night we played Harrisburg, and on Saturday we go down to Norristown and play Methacton, another 6A team. So that'll get us ready for the Lackawanna League.
Let's talk about the guys you have coming back this year. How much talent do you return?
Well, we have the 3 starters back from last year, and then we have some young kids coming up. We only start one senior, and that would be Jackson Danzig, but we have Trey Kohler and George Tinsley coming back. Jack Nealon's filling in, and we have another sophomore football player, defensive end, that could help us under the boards, Mike Malone. Coming off the bench, we're using a sophomore. We're using a freshman in Harry Johnson, and we got Alex Deary. Those 7 guys probably are going to get most of the time. And as we blend together, I mean, we're hoping we're going to be improving every game.
Let's talk about the league coming up in the Lackawanna League. Some of those teams to look at, and obviously you may be one of those teams people will look at too. But there'll be some good competition night in, night out.
Yes, they will. I mean, we get to see some of them in the summer league. The teams that will be playing next year. So I know Scranton Prep, they're going to have a great inside game, and as they showed in the Lina tournament last night, their guards, one of them had 24 points, so they're going to be very, very formidable. Scranton, I don't know anything about, because as I'm reading in the paper, they have 3 transfers coming in. Haven't seen them, don't have a history of them, but thankfully I'll be able to check them out in the finals of the Lina tournament that day. I mean, they'll be in the consolation game, but we'll get to see them play, and that's when we'll get to see Prep play. Valley View, haven't seen them, but boy, I'm looking in the paper, following them. They were young, but remember, a lot of them played when they were a freshman. This is their 3rd year together, and they've been getting better every year. So, you can't count them out. You don't come prepared to play, you're not going to win.
And for you, still having fun, you and Jeff. I mean, talk about getting to the court and going through another season. These years just fly by.
Yeah, they fly by, and we enjoy it, but not the 3 trips we made. we got back from Williamsport around midnight. And that wasn't good. And then last night, wow, we left at 2:30 to get there, played the game, came back in the school bus. We hit every bump in the road on the way back. We didn't get back till 11:30. So that's a long day.
Yeah.
We don't like that, but that goes with the territory.
Absolutely. Well, what about this team? You find yourselves to be a little bit more offensive minded this year, or still doing the same defensive schemes you've done for years?
Defensively, maybe, but we have to improve on our defense, because last year we gambled a lot, and we had that luxury because the big guy was behind us, and we have to keep telling him, he's not here anymore. You gamble now and don't get it, they're going right to the basket. So we have a couple problems with that early on, but we're getting better, each game. Offensively, we're doing much of the same things. Some of the sets that we run for an inside guy, naturally we're not running because he's gone. But Tinsley, we're very fortunate. We have 3 guys that can play at least 4 of the 5 positions. And that really helps. We're playing a game. If they have an outstanding defensive player they're going to put on your point guard, but we have 2 other guys that we can use. If they have 2, we still have another one. George can play a 3, he can play a 4, he can play a 5. In the zone defense, Jackson can play 3, 4, or 5. So we have a lot of flexibility, and according to as the game progresses, we can do a lot of different things here that we couldn't do. And if we couldn't take Maxwell and put him out on the guard, but with these guys, multi-talented, it's fun, and it makes it easier for me to make decisions.
growth of where you start in November, where you end up in hopefully March. Everybody wants to get to March. That's not easy to do, but in those 4 or 5 months, where do you think this team could go as far as some progression and slight improvement?
No, I'm thinking it's more than slight improvement because we're always behind when the year starts. We take them to team camp in July, and then when they come back in July, they're on their own. They need a break from me. I need a break from them. We don't see them again until maybe the first week in November. I mean, a lot of other teams, I know they're going traveling in the summer, playing at different places. We don't do that. So to start the season, we're a little bit behind, but we want them hungry and strong and ready to go at the end of the season. I mean, maybe it was a fluke, but we did it and we were successful, so that's the way we keep doing it.
Some notable alum from Abington playing different places, and fun to see those guys move on, and I'm sure they come in and visit over the holiday to say hello and visit the program.
We even started last year. Jeff had the idea of an alumni game as a little bit of a fundraiser, but it's the alumni game against each other, not against the kids, and we had good response both years. They come in, they like it, they love playing, they still think they can do the same things that they did back then. A lot of them can't move afterwards. Then they have a little party someplace that night. But yeah, we always invited them back. We call it into our family. And every holiday during the season, they'll come to practice. Even if we let them shoot at one of the baskets, but they always stop by to say hello. And then some of them are still playing, like JC, and some of them are head coaches in college. Like Duano that played for me, he's got a head coaching job at Everett, Averett, down in Carolina. So we email each other, and keep in touch. But yeah, it's good when they come back.
The balance between family and basketball and just trying to breathe a little bit over the holidays. I'm sure you probably have a pretty good formula that's worked over time, and you gotta know that, hey, everybody else is working, so you got to put in the work, but you know that there's some time that these kids have to spend with their family, and same for you and your other coach, Jeff McClain.
We not only use that here, but we use it year-round, as we said, about in the summer. People want to go to the shore for a week. Somebody has to do this with their family, that with their family. They need a break from us, so we don't have anything to do in the summer. During the holidays, matter of fact, we have a guy that's just coming back, one of our JV players. He said he'll be back. He thought he was going to be back the 27th, and his plane didn't come back now till the 28th, so we'll see him tomorrow. Your family comes first, and we come second. But, the big games, they're going to be there. But we can look a little bit different, during exhibition season.
Coach, always great to catch up with you. We appreciate your time. Enjoy your family, and Happy New Year, and have a great 2018 coming up.
Thank you. For you as well. Jackson
Danzig joining us here from the Abington Heights Comets basketball team. And Jackson, senior year, times go by quickly. So you're ready to wrap it all up in the high school, but you got some ball game to you this year. What are you hoping for this year as a team?
What we're hoping for this year is just to come together and play our best as we can, and just to work hard every day and accomplish our goals and get better every day.
Coach, one of the unique things about this team is you have a handful of guys that can play different positions out there. Talk about your versatility in particular and some of the other guys.
Everyone on our team can play every single spot on the court, and everyone works hard to be able to do that, and everyone has a great understanding of the game, and we just come out every day just try to make each other better.
Let's talk about the soccer, something that you do, and you do a pretty good job from what I understand.
Yeah, I play soccer. I've been playing my whole life. I just do it to take my mind off basketball and just give me a break, so I'm just not focused all the time on basketball.
Let's talk about the FBLA and being a part of that, and doing some different things at school to kind of enhance what you're doing in the classroom and as well on the court.
Yeah, it stands for Future Business Leaders of America. It's just a club that we do. You take some tests and you go down to the U once a year to see if you get an award, and then it's just a great opportunity to expand your horizons.
Let's talk about the brothers, how old they are now and what they're up to.
Ross is 26. He's down in Philly working for a financial company. My brother Ethan's a senior at the U. He's about to score 1,000 points, just at the all-time 3-point record, and he's doing great. He's playing for my dad, and it's awesome.
And the next step for you, let's talk about where you're headed. University of Scranton as well?
Yeah, I'm also going to Scranton. I'm going to be playing for my dad. I'm very excited. I can't wait. It's just going to be a great time.
And talk about that relationship with him, and obviously he's busy doing his thing, and your mom's a whole part of the whole mix of trying to make sure she's getting to your games and doing your brother's games, but I'm sure you try to catch as many as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I try to get down there as often as possible to support them. It's funny, our mom's the running joke in the house is she's the assistant coach. She pulls all the strings, and she makes everything run smoothly, and without her we'd be in a lot of trouble. So a lot of appreciation for her, and it's a great household.
Let's talk about your family in particular, your role models, and them setting goals for you setting your own goals, and them helping you achieve what you've achieved.
My whole family is my role models. They all push for me. They all want the best for me, and they all help me achieve my goals every day. They push me as hard as possible just to keep going and keep working.
Pick up basketball all over the holidays with the brothers?
Of course, we played plenty of games. Of course, Ross is old now, so you can't really guard me and Ethan, and then me and Nathan battle a lot. Our games go either way, so it's a lot of fun.
Any chance you could roll Pop out there and play some ball with him? Or
every once in a while, but he doesn't like to run up and down. His muscles get sore and his bones get sore.
Well, he's the smart guy coaching and doing a great job at the University of Scranton. Well, Jackson, we wish you well this year, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
George Tinsley with us from the Abington Heights Comets basketball team here on the John Mendola Show. And George, it's your junior year. Let's talk about how your ball game is going so far as we get through November and December. How do you feel like you're playing right now?
I feel like I'm playing pretty well. I mean, I've been able to keep my percentage up. I'm just trying to keep that percentage up because I want to be able to help the team out that way. And also, I strive to help out on the rebounds because we're missing a 7-footer. I knew coming into this season that I was going to have to get more rebounds than I even did last year, and I just knew that was going to be key in my role on the team.
What are some things you think this team needs to improve on between now and hopefully March?
As of right now, I think we need to improve on our defense because we still gamble a lot. Because last year we were allowed to gamble because we had a 7-footer back there helping us. So this year we have to kind of really buckle down and just settle down and play some good defense.
Also played football. Talk about what that was like for you to play the game of football at Abington Heights and play with some of your friends.
It was really fun. I mean, the experience is amazing playing football. Also being a quarterback, I just love it. It's fun.
You have an older brother, Jason. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about him.
I mean, he also played football, but he never really played basketball. He's more of I got the height in the family, but he got the muscle. So he used to play football, but now he's just he went to Pitt and just studying neuroscience there.
Math and economics, a couple of subjects that you seem to embrace. What is it about those that you like?
Well, I just really like math because, I don't know,
comes natural?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I like that. And economics and math kind of go hand in hand together, so I just realized that I can make a living off that if I wanted to.
Anybody in the family that is pretty good with numbers as well, or in that line of work at all? Is that something you're thinking about college-wise, like maybe a finance guy, accountant or something?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, my parents they both work at MetLife, so I don't know exactly what they do, but
well, I'm sure they're doing good stuff, that's for sure. And let's tell us a little bit about your parents and them trying to, inspire you and obviously be there for you in every facet, and whether there's other people as well.
I mean, yeah, definitely. My parents they're the reason I'm here now. I mean, they push me every day. They're the reason I got better. They set up lessons with certain coaches, and they're very helpful.
As far as Scranton Prep being a big rival, talk about what it's like when you play Prep. You're always going to get their best and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun playing against them because, like you said, we always get their best, and we're putting our best on there, and it's just always a competitive game. And I know most of the guys, basically all the guys from Prep, from AAU, and it's fun to actually play against them.
Well, George, we wish you a happy New Year. I hope you have a healthy season, and best of luck. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Trey Kohler joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're at Arcaro Genell in the banquet area. And Trey, let's talk about your role this year with the Abington Heights squad.
I think my role is just to be the team leader and to make sure that we're all in place, and then also to bring some energy when we're not at our fullest potential, and then just to be a motivational kind of player.
Where are those points coming from this year? Jackson could shoot, but talk about the other roles of everybody else. How many other guys could put the ball in the net?
Yeah, Well, George can definitely bang it down low and like get the boards and like offensive rebounds, and then Jack Nealing is a good shooter, and then Mikey Malone gets those nice rebounds as well, and then me and Corey are like some good shooters too, and we can take it into the rack.
Football, something that you did this year, so talk about what you like about football.
I like about football is that you can get your frustration out that way, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's like cool to play like 2 different sports and see how different they are.
Let's talk. You have a couple siblings, so tell us about them.
I have a sister named Paris, and she's a senior, and she's going to the University of Pittsburgh. And then I have a stepsister, and she's 26, and she's working in a bank right now.
Awesome. And let's talk about your relationship with your sister, who's a senior. You guys are really close in age. And
yeah, we're really close, and we do a lot of things together, and like we're like really close with each other.
Math, economics, business. We're talking to George a little bit. He liked a couple of those subjects. Talk about what you enjoy about them.
I just like just dealing with numbers basically, and I really want to I think major in something with business or economics and like something like that.
Some of those role models in your life, take us through. Sure, each of them plays a little part in how you are successful. So tell us about them.
Yeah. Well, obviously my family is a huge role models on me, and like my mom and dad, they push me, and I thank them so much for everything they do. And my sister, she's really good. And then my role models for basketball are Kobe Bryant and Russell Westbrook, because I just like the way they play the game.
And you enjoy playing Scranton Prep. What is it about Prep that you like the challenge of?
I don't know. It's just something like all my friends, like I have some friends that go there, and it's just fun playing against them, and it's like really good competition.
Well, Trey, we appreciate your time. Happy New Year to you and your family, and thanks for coming in to Arcaro Genell.
Thank you.
Jack Nealing with us here from the Abington Heights Comets basketball team. And Jack, talk about your role on the squad this year.
Role is to get everybody involved, being the point guard. Obviously, you have 3 great scorers, and Jackson, Trey, and George, and they all need their touches, and you just got to get them and look at Mikey in the post and just try to get everybody involved and shoot when you're open. And then defensively, I'm usually guarding the ball handler, and you got to keep them in front.
Coach ever say, hey, I need 6 points from you or 12 points from you, anything like that? Or you kind of know if the opportunity is there, you do your thing?
Yeah, there's some times where if they just say shoot when you're open, or if you get a look, take it, and you have to capitalize on those when they tell you to do that.
We'll talk about trying to have the fit and the synergy as a group. You guys obviously play some summer ball, but coach says, hey, these guys go their own way when August comes. They may go play football, they may do something else. So talk about how you guys kind of have to turn that button on once November comes and kind of get your groove and then be ready for the league in January.
Yeah, and even like when practices start, they're like, I know George and Trey and Corey and Mikey, when they played football, they weren't back and 100%, so we were kind of behind. But like once we started clicking pretty fast in practice and getting our group of guys together, and it was fun when we got to see what we can do, and yeah, so like our energy was really good. So.
Oldest sibling in the family?
I
you got
am the oldest.
A couple
yes.
younger ones, so tell us about how they look up to you and hopefully what you're doing, they're following suit.
Yeah, well, they both play basketball as well, and one's on the freshman team, and the other is in 6th grade, about to start junior high basketball. So they always come to the games and look, and they get a little sneak peek of what it gets to be like when they get to grow up.
Another math guy. We seem to be good with numbers up at Abington
true.
Heights. You're really good in the classroom, so talk about whether it's a teacher or a subject area that you enjoy.
I like to focus on, I try to do everything that I could for all of them, but I think I just excel the best at math. Again, numbers, I know those, and there are a couple other classes that I really enjoy, and you have to keep the grades up in order to play, and school comes before sports, so I keep that mindset.
Let's get into the house and talk about being you and making sure you're doing those academics and the people that are kind of making sure you got your priorities straight.
Yeah, my parents, obviously, the biggest role models in my life, and they're always there for me, and they keep me going every day and provide for the best for our family.
As far as some strengths of your team, we asked another guy about some of the weaknesses or things you think you need to improve. What do you say some of the strengths you're seeing early on in the season? Again, you never want to get too high or too low and say, hey, we're really good at this. But what do you feel some of the strengths are right now?
Definitely against certain teams we could pound the ball inside, and George and Mikey, two big guys, and even Jackson, they can take their guy one-on-one whenever. But then we can also hit outside shots. Me, Trey, and Corey could step out, and even Jackson and George will step out and hit threes. And it's definitely that. And then our pressure on defense, we like to get our ball pressure up, get a lot of steals, and try to break and run. Just run. It's a little different from last year where we had Seth and we can throw the ball inside almost every single play. So I definitely say those are our strengths.
How about speed-wise? How are you guys matching up against some of these big schools in the exhibition season here?
Yeah, well, we just played Harrisburg last night. They were fast and strong, and we held our own, and we came out with a win. So it's always good when you get to go test yourself against different schools around the Philly, Harrisburg, those areas, and it's always nice to win those games.
Well, Jack, congratulations on the big win against Harrisburg, and I know you guys will have another challenge coming up this weekend, so thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Mike Malone with us from the Abington Heights Comets basketball team, and Mike, you're a sophomore. Talk about what your job is here for Coach Kenny Bianchi.
Just to be physical and grab some rebounds for the guys and just do my part.
Tell us a little bit about each of the guys. Take us through the starters and what the good, positive qualities are about each of them.
Well, I think everybody, like George and Jackson and Trey, all good leadership, and Jack, they really help me out because I'm new to the team.
As far as getting down low and doing the work, what are you working on in practice all the time? A lot of boxing out?
Yeah, boxing out, like individuals, like post moves and free throws.
How about defense? How much is defense emphasized at Abington Heights?
Yeah, that's important.
As far as football, what do you like about football? Where do you play on the football field?
I play tight end and defensive end.
Part of the Spanish club. What do you enjoy about
Spanish
that?
Club. We just get together, eat some good foods. We're planning a trip too.
You got a couple older brothers, so talk a little bit about Kevin and Jack and how they've influenced you.
They're great. Kevin's down at Temple. He's a senior, and Jack's he's a sophomore at ESU.
Two good schools.
Yeah.
Well, these Abington Heights guys, another guy pretty darn good in math. So what is it about math? Just usually you hear kids say it all the time, hey, it's something that comes natural to me. Is there, whether it's an algebra class, geometry class, you have a favorite in that?
Yeah, I think I like geometry better. It's just, I understand it more.
And one of your role models, J.J. Watt, what is it about him you like?
I just like his desire to work.
Granted Prep, you enjoy playing them. What are you looking forward to this year with playing Prep?
It's just a fun rivalry, just to play them, and it'll be fun.
All right, Mike, well, Happy New Year. Keep up the good work and following these seniors at Abington Heights, and we wish you the best going forward.
All right, thanks.
Corey Perkins joining us from the Abington Heights Comets basketball team. And Corey, we've talked to just about every guy here and asked them all about their role on the team. Let's talk about the seniors and what kind of leaders they are. And heard a little bit from your teammate, Mr. Malone, and he said, hey, that the seniors really have provided a lot of leadership. You as a 10th grader, what are they trying to do to kind of get you up to speed with playing varsity basketball?
They just know that, like, we're not as experienced with the plays and everything, so they're trying to help us out when we don't really know what's going on. And they just do a good job of that.
Offense, defense, what do you think you have more of a spark on with this team when you come in?
Defense, probably.
Talk about what kind of defenses you play at Abington Heights. Is it always man-to-man? Do you play some zone, matchup zone, different things?
It all depends on the team we're playing. We've been playing a lot of 2-3 and man, mostly.
You played football this fall. Talk about what positions you play and playing with some of these guys that I'm sure on the basketball team with you.
Yeah, I played wide receiver and cornerback, and Mikey, Trey, and George, they all played with me, so coming to basketball season, I already had a feel for the way that they played sports, and it just helped to carry over with.
Got a couple of older brothers. Talk about what you've learned from them and what they're telling you now as they have some experience in life, more than you so far. So what are some things they're trying to get through to you?
They used to play sports, but they don't anymore. But they both still have a good understanding of like what's going on. So like they always tell me, like if I'm slacking on defense or something, to just keep it up and try to do anything like I'm not capable of.
How about the fans in the stands rooting on Corey Perkins? Talk about who's out there rooting you on.
My mom, my dad tries to make to the games when he can, but he's usually working out of the state, so we just try to keep him updated.
College down the road, what are you thinking about with that? Would you like to play sports in college? You're kind of wide open right now. Again, you got a couple years to think about it.
I would definitely like to play sports in college, but if I can't, then I'll just do something like maybe like an athletic trainer or something like general management or something down there.
As far as your game of basketball improving wise, what do you think you need to work on the rest of this year individually and as a team?
Individually, probably my shooting hasn't been the best lately, but coach has been telling me to just keep doing the things I have been doing and they'll fall eventually. And as a team, I just think we need to limit our turnovers because we've had a lot of them, but we'll just get better.
All right, limit the turnovers. Nobody else brought that up, so you're seeing some things that are a little different, which is what you hope, that everybody sees things a little bit more of what we can improve. Well, Corey, we appreciate your time. Happy New Year to you and your family this year.
Thank you.